Hey, 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 Fit Mama. Jen Oliver here, your host of the Fit Mama podcast. This is the work in to your workout. Welcome to part 3 of this Fit Mama sexy series with me, your host. And I'm so excited to talk about this topic with you because again, I feel like it opens up that line of communication with yourself, with your intimacy, with your partner, and the intimacy between you. And I think this is such a valuable and important part of the Fit Mama Foundations, which is why I kind of created this really important series, because you will find so much out there on food and nutrition and diets and different things that are all about eating and what you put in your body. And then there's this whole other huge area of exercise and fitness, all the movement, health, and all the stuff that's going on that way. And those two pieces, fitness and food, are just two of the foundations of being a fit mama. So as you are going through your Fit Mama journey and really transforming the core of you, I encourage you to really value that connection to yourself and that connection with the person you chose to have your children or raise your children with. And I think there's something to be said here about really valuing that one person or those very close people in your network who you're very, very, very intimate with. For some of us, it's one intimate partner. For some people, it may be one or two more. It depends on where you're at. This has nothing to do with that per se, what your choices are, but there is that one or two people in your life that you are 100% open with. And that includes your values and the things that you believe in. And hopefully you can be yourself around those people who are the closest to you, especially raising your children. And when it comes to intimacy, especially around sex and sexual behavior, it's really important for you to have that understanding of what that connection means to you and whether you're fostering it, whether you're getting your needs met, and whether you are, in fact, meeting the needs of your significant other. So whether it's your man or your woman, your hubby, your wife, your goddess, your whatever, what is that for you that you really feel the connection deeper than anything? Because you chose to have children with this person. You, unless you are separated or in a different relationship now, you have someone in your life that you really have chosen for one reason or another. And if you can anchor into what about that person first inspired you, what about them turned you on? And if you were turned on by a side of them that they still exhibit, but you no longer value, well, that's a tough one. Right? So you got to really be honest with yourself saying, was I thinking I was going to change them? Or is this just not a good match anymore? Have I evolved? Have they evolved or devolved or whatever the case may be? The question is what do you need to have your needs met? And if you can really get clear on these are my needs from this person, and I met them when I was at this point in my life, and this is what I needed from them then, and then we haven't kind of moved on to what I need from them now. So it's time, perhaps, to voice your needs now in this new life that presumably you're sharing together, you're sharing children, and whatever the case is, your sexual life is very intimate for you and is setting an example for your children, regardless of what you think, regardless of what you think they see and hear, they see and hear everything. So being really clear on what example you want to set and realizing that you chose their mom or dad for a reason it's really important to anchor into, is this the right fit anymore? Is one of us in a different space? Or am I ready to just say, this is the best thing for me and my family? And it's not sucking it up. It's saying, hey, I always think the grass is greener, or things will always look better on the other side, or other people's relationships will look fantastically fun and mine will feel boring, or whatever. But understanding that you and only you have the ability to spice it up. You have the ability to open yourself up, which will guaranteed in turn open your spouse up. And again, in return, you will feel an elevated level of connection. And that connection feels so good when you have the shared values, the shared love for the things you're looking to pursue in your lives, whether that's shared children or bringing new children into it, or whether that's your shared passion for your work together or work individually. Honoring what the other is working towards and respecting it, even if it may not be entirely what you want, encouraging them anyway. So understanding what really drives you. And I've been talking a lot about the 21 days to love your body, because I really believe that reconnecting with yourself in a way where you're showing yourself more love allows you to reconnect with that spouse, partner, man, woman in your life who really wants to connect with you. And I think this is an important thing to remember, is that you may be telling yourself, I don't feel like putting out. I don't feel like getting intimate. I don't feel like taking off my clothes because my body doesn't feel the way I want it to feel or look the way I want it to look. And when we hold ourselves back from feeling pleasure because of the way something looks, I really encourage you to question this. And if you don't feel good about yourself, okay, maybe it's about managing your expectations, but also understanding that you don't have to look a certain way to feel a certain way. And if you can embrace the beautiful body that you're in, whether it's covered in stretch marks, rolls, acne, whatever, I encourage you to realize that you are a beautiful goddess being. And if you can feel that goddess oozing out of your pores in the most beautiful, bright, vibrant, colorful rainbow all around you, you will start to tap into the love that is pouring out of you, this desire to connect. Right? All day, we want to connect with our man or woman. We want to contact them at work if we're home with the kids. Or if we're working, we want to connect with our family or our partner. I encourage you to, in the absence of your god or goddess in your life, I encourage you to text them, to sext them. I encourage you to tell them how much you are excited for them, how much you can't wait to touch or lick or suck their body. Tell them in full detail, vividness, in a way that hopefully is private. My husband and I WhatsApp instead of text, because text apparently is less secure than WhatsApp. So if you and your man or woman get onto WhatsApp and have a secret form of communication just for your sexy talk, I really, really encourage you to do this, because I know firsthand how much this really excites me and him. And we have a really good time with it because we're sending each other messages. We can send each other a little bit more secure photos, though I'm still reluctant with photos. And there's just a lot more security in that way. So texting, sexting, saying, hey, I can't wait to touch this or lick this or do this to you when you come home tonight. And yes, the kids are going to be there and wanting your attention. And that makes it all the more exciting to wait till they go to sleep, to be together as a team, to energize yourselves, to put them to bed so you two can frolic in the sheets later at night together and just feel that connection that you so desire, even when you have bills to pay and jobs to worry about and Christmas presents to wrap, birthdays that are coming up and parties to attend and people to please. When do you get a big, deep breath to crawl under the sheets with your mate and have fun with that and play with each other and touch each other, caress each other, tell each other how important you are to each other, how good you feel being together, how great it feels when he or she touches you in this way or in that way, when they play with you like this, when they lick you like that. Can you break down that barrier and tell them just what you want, just how much you love their lips, just how much you love their tongue? How amazing it feels to connect on that deep level under the sheets, privately, by yourself, just you and him or her, or just you and you by yourself. One of the guaranteed ways you are going to feel more sexy, Fit Mama, is when you masturbate and you connect with yourself underneath the sheets, when you take off your own clothes and touch your own body and reach down between your legs and make yourself feel good. Because that is available to you at any moment, any time, any place. And to play with yourself or tease yourself or your mate, it feels so good. It keeps you excited. It keeps you working towards something. And we think that fitness or fitting into our skinny jeans or eating the next soup or salad on our list is going to excite us. But you know what really excites us? When someone touches us unexpectedly in a loving, safe way. And if something doesn't feel safe, Fit Mama, I encourage you to explore it, to get help, to ask questions, to feel what you need to feel to move through, and to be able to accept and feel the pleasure you are entitled to. As a woman, as a man, as whatever you are, to feel that anticipation of goodness that is to come your way when you can truly surrender to orgasm, surrender to adoration from somebody else or from yourself, and to let your barriers down enough to feel pleasure. And this is not always easy. Number one, today I want to encourage you that in the absence of your king or queen, that you send them messages, that you send them fantasies, that you send them thoughts, if that feels safe and secure. And if you know they're not going to share it with anybody else, trust your instincts in that case. Number two, anticipation. Build anticipation for yourself. Build dates for yourself to explore yourself. And then build anticipation with your man or your woman to feel that excitement together. Build in date nights into your week. Build in date mornings. Build in morning sex dates. Build in lunch sex dates. Build in hotel nights or sleepovers when the kids are out and you're at home. Whatever works or is possible in your world, plan them, so that anticipation keeps you excited, so that you can't wait for the next time your significant other is going to take off your clothes and admire your body, or when you're going to dress up in that outfit that turns you both on. Why not let down the barrier, Fit Mama, with needing to be perfect, needing things to look a certain way, feel a certain way, act a certain way before you can feel pleasure. I beg you, question that. Don't let it be something you put off. Pleasure's available to you today, now, if you so choose to accept it, as I talked about in the last episode. And the last one for today that I want to really elaborate on with you, after you really Connect with your partner in their absence so you can create and build that number 2, anticipation. Number 3 is where the hard part comes in. And I don't want to say hard like it's actually hard, but it's the part where you got to be a bit more disciplined. This is absorption. So in absence, you sext or you create that foreplay action that creates that anticipation, which is the second A. And the third A is absorption. Can you absorb and fully surrender to the love and adoration that your man or woman wants to pour upon you? Can you give yourself the time and the space to fully open yourself up? I know for me, it was really important to lock the door, to make sure the kids were asleep, to make sure that no one was coming in, to make sure that we were in a private hotel room, to make sure that I was able to fully open myself up and not worry. Fully opening yourself up allows you to fully absorb the love, the adoration, the reverence that is being poured upon you, not only by yourself in this moment, but by your other, your man, your king, your goddess, whomever you are with intimately. Let them bury themselves in you. Let them feel you gaining the most amount of pleasure they've ever seen by fully surrendering, because not many will, and you can. Build more of that anticipation by really absorbing yourself in that moment and feeling all the feelings, Fit Mama. Feel how good it feels to be touched, to be licked, to be held, to be caressed, to be massaged, to be rubbed, to be touched. Feel how good it feels and allow yourself to remember that good feeling, so that you plan yet another date night, another hotel night, another sleepover for your kids in a safe space where you can fully surrender. Know when that next time is coming to build again more of that anticipation. Send your sexy one some sexts. Send them some notes of adoration. Send them all the reasons why you love them and their body and why it's perfect as it is. Don't mom your significant other. Don't be that voice of reason for them. That isn't your job. Be that one that is there for them to fulfill their sexual desires. And I tell you, they are more likely to fulfill all your desires. As you open yourself to them, opens yourself to you. And you create boundaries that are beautiful instead of boundaries that keep you feeling like a prisoner. And remember, you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to treat you. You can teach your God or goddess how to treat you. And in turn, be open to treating them in a way that you feel so pleasured by pleasuring them, by loving on them, by admiring and adoring them. And watch yourself open up. Watch yourself flourish. Feel good. Just by helping yourself to your man or to your woman, knowing that they are there for your pleasure. And not in a materialistic way, and not in a I own you, you're my property kind of way, but in a very sexy, very loving, very adoring kind of way. Allow yourself to be adored. Allow yourself to adore. And remember asking how you can pleasure your man, your woman, how you can make them feel like the god or goddess that they are. Trust that they can handle what you have. Trust that they want what you've got. Trust that you have the libido that is required to pleasure your man, and trust that you are what they want. You are the only thing they want. They will look no elsewhere if you are there for them, and they will be there for you. So I want to encourage you to create the time and space that is needed for you to enjoy intimate time with your husband or wife, to take time to explore your body, because that is what is going to allow you to connect deeper to yourself, to your desires, to your true value. And I'm not saying your value relies on your sex, but that is the grounding source of your entire self, right down there in your pelvis, in your core that I'm always talking about. That's where your root chakra is, your chakras of security, safety. And if you can anticipate the excitement of feeling good and opening yourself up to the love that your other has to shower over you, you will feel flourishing. You will feel inspired to eat the foods that nourish you, to get the sleep that nourishes you, so you can feel good yet again. And I've talked about this before, and I've told you that I have a deep love for morning sex. And when I communicated this to my husband, he really was happy to hear it. And he was like, I'm okay with that at all times, right? So I gave him the green light to come after me in the morning, to wake me up with his hands, to wake me up with his love, and to encourage me to start my day on the absolute best foot that I can, that I love, that I feel so connected to, again, that safety, that grounding of my root chakra, of my base chakras of my body, which are my connection to myself. To recap again, just to remind you, I was talking today about 3 specific things. 1, absence. 2, anticipation. 3, absorption. If you can create in that absence some anticipation through sexting, foreplay, as you get anticipated to have date nights, to have hotel nights, to have nights out, the two of you, to connect, that you know you're going to be able to connect afterwards or again in the early morning. You know, maybe one of you gets too drunk, so we got to watch out, make sure we can have sex later that night, or watch out for this, or let's plan morning sex, or make sure we have this or that covered so we can open up all these possibilities. Setting yourself up for sexy success, Fit Mama, feels so good. And lastly, the absorption piece. If you're feeling like you're rushing all around and you have one thing after another, you have to take the kids here, you have to take the kids there, and you haven't had a night home by yourself, haven't had a night with your man in forever, you are running yourself ragged and you are not going to feel sexy. You're going to think your libido sucks. You're going to say, oh, my husband would love if I went down on him, but that's not going to happen until 2025 or whatever. Then you are selling yourself short, because I guarantee you, your man wants to have you down there licking his balls, sucking his cock, feeling so freaking amazing, knowing his woman loves him the most and will do anything for him. Because that's the truth. And you would. And the minute you decide you are going to say, I will do anything for my man, I want to keep my man, I want to keep my man happy. And it's not only blowjobs, there's so much that goes into it. And we know it, sexy and otherwise, he is so much more likely to put in all the sexy and otherwise back to you. And at the end of the day, it's not about what we can get back, it's what we can give. But when you give, you truly receive. And he will truly receive all the pleasure in the world from giving unto you. And he goes down on you and you feel all those good feelings, he is going to feel like the man. He is going to feel like he owns it. He is going to feel fantastic. And it's not in a negative, misogynistic way. It's in a very loving, connected way. My kids are playing in their room right now, and I have never recorded a podcast with them even in the house. And now I'm recording this one with them in the house, and they've run out. They can't hear me. The way my studio is set up, they cannot hear me, but I can kind of hear their voices, so I know when they're around. But it's pretty funny because of all the podcasts I'm recording with them in the house, it's this one. So with that, I'm probably going to wrap up here, but I do want to leave you with this, Fit Mama, and that is you and your sex life with your man or your woman is entirely yours. And I'm not here to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm here to simply open your mind and be the work in to your workout to allow you to see that the beauty that you seek for your body and for your man or woman is truly right before your eyes. And when you can see that it doesn't matter how you look, it doesn't matter what you've eaten today or yesterday, it doesn't matter how many times you've worked out or not, your man or woman is seeing you as the most sexiest thing they've ever seen. You are the one they want, even if they're watching porn. You are the one they kiss, even if they're looking at someone else. You are the one they sleep with and want more of every single day. Give them pleasure. Give them the pleasure of you. Give them the pleasure of seeing you be pleasured, because that is greater than you could know. Open your heart to your husband or wife. Open your heart to that king or queen in your life. Open your heart, and your body will open to the pleasure of true, unconditional, beautiful, magnanimous, always there forever and ever love, because it is available to you. It is open to you. It is there for you for the taking if you honor yourself first. I love you and greatly respect you, Fit Mama, and I'm so grateful that you're here. I can't wait for the interview with my own husband and to share him and a little bit of his wisdom with you. And until next time, thank you so much for being here. Have a great day, Fit Mama. Namaste.